Normally don't do this, but I got to because I already did a thing on PSAs. And this one is uploaded by Savix. It's 9 disturbing British PSAs.
But really, I should have cleaned up the grease over there. And they should never put the deep fryer so close.
It's highly exaggerated.
PSAs, also known as public service announcements or public information films as they're sometimes called here in the UK, are short films designed to teach the public about various important subjects, such as work safety, road safety, fire safety, and darker subjects such as domestic abuse, drugs, and crime. As I'm sure a lot of you have seen by the amount of dark and disturbing PSAs list on YouTube, a lot of these PSAs were made to shock and frighten the viewers to get their point across.
Correct.
And naturally leave a lasting impression in those who watch them. As I live in the UK and we have our own library of disturbing PSAs, I've decided to cover 9 of them. Here are 9 disturbing British PSAs.
You never know. 2002.
This PSA was made in 2002, a time when the internet was really starting to become more common in homes. With the internet being more readily available, people were also joining chat rooms, which were essentially very early versions of what we know today as social media. The best modern equivalent to this would probably be Discord. Of course, adults weren't the only ones to get in on this new platform. Children also joined chat rooms as a way to talk to their friends online, and of course, find new friends who might share their interests. However, voice chat wasn't really a thing back then, and few people had webcams, so there wasn't really a way to determine if the person you were talking to was who they said they were. This was especially dangerous for children. Many sick adult men used the internet to speak to children by pretending to be children themselves, becoming friends with them, and eventually attempting...
I think people still do that, but it's normally like video games and stuff like that, so it's not really that dangerous, but it still is kind of creepy and weird.
Persuade the children into meeting them in person without telling their parents, naturally. It's completely obvious what their intentions with these children are, and I won't go into detail about them here.
Good idea.
But this was clearly a huge problem in the early 2000s, and parents were obviously afraid that their children may end up talking to one of these men. In response, this PSA was made to teach children about the dangers of speaking to strangers online and giving their contact details. We hear a child's voice talking about his hobbies and how he enjoys collecting things, until the camera pans down and we see that these words are what this man was typing whenever he spoke to children online. It's definitely disturbing hearing that voice coming out of a man with that blank, emotionless look on his face, knowing what kind of twisted thoughts and intentions are going through his mind. Obviously, I know this man is only an actor, but he definitely does a good job of getting the point across that parents should always monitor who their children are talking to online. It's not quite as bad today, as children are a lot smarter about who they talk to, but unfortunately, it does still sometimes happen.
It does.
My hobbies are football, cycling. I like playing in the street, and I like going down to the park and stuff. I like collecting medals, like football medals.
Okay. PSA aside, I really do like this kid's hobbies. Blech. Hobbies. Not hobbies. Hobbies. I mean, yes, it is disturbing to see a man pretending to be a kid. But still, these lists of hobbies are actually really cool.
The way
I'd play with this
they're
kid.
presented and stuff, because some are shiny and some are like blue, silver, green, and stuff like that. But they're always, the ones that I pick are always like blue, but with shiny bits. And I always make sure that if I have a football player, it ain't just one with a leg.
People online may not be who they say they are.
It's one with an actual football on it.
How could I phrase this better without being demonetized? Bleep use the internet. Don't give your email, mobile, or other personal details.
oversaw the...
Sorry, I was going to pause that, but I couldn't.
It ain't just one with a leg out, it's one with an actual football on it.
Play safe. 1978.
In 1978, the Electricity Council, which was the governing body that oversaw the electricity supply in England and Wales, created 3 public information films aimed at young children to teach them about the dangers of playing near overhead power lines and electrical substations. The filmmakers decided to go with a scare them straight approach with these PSAs.
Do not scare kids straight. It's a bad idea, and it's only going to leave them traumatized.
Not only were they intentionally designed to frighten children, but they were also aired well before what's known as the 9 p.m. watershed time, in which nothing unsuitable for children was usually aired. These PSAs would be aired in between kid-friendly TV shows, so after the children of the time had just finished watching something harmless like Bagpuss, The Wombles, or Rainbow, they were then treated to a short film of kids their own age being electrocuted to death. The 3 films were actually part of a longer PSA that was shown in schools in which a young Robin is taught about the dangers of going near power lines and substations by a wise owl.
I must say I like to see kids enjoying themselves.
You won't live long enough to see anything if you don't get off that wire.
Hey? Yeah, who said that?
Do you realize you're sitting on a live electric wire?
Well, so what? Can't hurt us birds.
It will if you touch the wire above it with your wings. You'll get hundreds of volts through you.
The owl tells him the stories of 3 children who were electrocuted due to playing too close to power lines or substations. The first one is a boy who is shot while he and his friend are moving a boat down to the river, and the mast collides with a power line. The owl says that the boy was lucky, only being knocked unconscious and recovering a few days later.
He was lucky. The electric shock knocked him unconscious, but he was all right after a couple of days.
Was he touching a metal part of the dinghy?
It doesn't matter. Anything that's wet or got moisture on it can conduct electricity to Earth.
The next one features 2 children flying a kite near a pylon. The kite flies into the pylon and the boy...
Okay, first of all, do not do this. It's a bad idea in general to be flying a kite anywhere near something that could get it caught or get caught on it. The line, the thing, the kite piece, like anything that could get caught on anything, like trees. Trees are better because you could climb up on the trees, but power lines, like buildings, like things like that, it's a bad idea to play with a kite around because it'd get stuck, and even if you don't get hurt, you still won't be able to get your kite back down.
Boy is shocked, resulting in the boy being badly burned, according to the owl.
Watch out!
You didn't say what happened to the boy.
He wasn't so lucky.
You mean he...
He was badly burned on the arms and chest, but he didn't die.
The final and most infamous story is that of 2 children who accidentally throw their frisbee into a substation. The boy, named Jimmy, tells the girl that they're not supposed to go in there, but the girl insists he goes in there to get their frisbee. He climbs up to get the frisbee, but as soon as he reaches to grab it, the electricity shocks him, causing him to burst into flames as he stays standing in place, having died from the electric shock. The girl can do nothing but scream Jimmy's name in horror.
Go on, get it. We're not supposed to go in there. Oh, go on, there's a gap down there. A gang of kids broke in yesterday.
Okay. How are you supposed to get your frisbee down? It's climbable, correct. But you can't, your brain should be telling you, I shouldn't go in there. Even if your friend's telling you, and if you're even trying to impress a girl, climbing up that thing is going to kill you, buddy. If you don't fall down and break your back, you're going to get burned. Or worse.
Saw them.
Could get Tetris.
Pass me that bit of wood.
And now you're vandalizing property.
This PSA may seem tame by today's standards, but remember, this was shown to children on TV channels where they should have just been able to relax and watch kids shows. So this PSA will have definitely affected those unfortunate enough to catch it in between their regular viewing. The children of the 80s wouldn't have it any easier, as 10 years later, another electricity PSA would be made that really hammered in just how dangerous electricity can be. And that PSA will also be on this list.
When you have time to kill, make sure time doesn't kill you. Then we'll see you around.
Have fun.
But keep safe.
And play safe.
Okay guys, I gotta go off and do something. This will be part 1 of a 2, maybe 3-part series. Okay, see you guys next time.